Yeah, if I'm 73, I'm still here. Listen, just thinking. I just did a video on how I water my garden and everything, and it just got me to thinking. I'm just out here sitting, which I never get time to do. Um, got me thinking about when you buy a tree, what are your expectations? A lot of these videos, YouTube actually is fairly young. YouTube itself is fairly young. You know, it ain't been around 50, 60 years. YouTube is young. So a lot of these videos that are popping up, we're sharing a lot of knowledge and we're sharing a lot of, you know, things that we do in our gardens, and a lot of it is new to all of us. Growing fruit trees and growing different vegetables and different fruit. Some of us never heard of some of this stuff, if it wasn't for YouTube or Google. So with that being said, I do something a lot, and that is I buy a lot of trees. I buy a lot of trees. Y'all know that. I'm just sitting here thinking, what's my expectation with that? I thought about that the other day. I was at work and I was on one of my routes and I was driving and I delivered to this house. I seen all this stuff, these balls in the street, and I said, what the hell is that? I figured out what it was. They were pears, ripe pears. It was so weird that I literally stopped my mail truck, got out, and went and checked, because I don't know, it might be some grenades, hell, I don't know. This is a crazy world. Let me check before I go running this stuff over. It might be some kids' toys. So I get out the truck and I go look, and it's pears everywhere. So that made me look up. I look up at this tree that's about as big as Rasputia back here. I'm not Rasputia, Bonita. And it was about 15 feet tall, maybe 20 tops, with literally hundreds and hundreds of big, juicy, ripe pears. One tree had enough fruit on it where there's hundreds of pears still on the tree. It's about 50 pears in the street, and it's about 100 pears on the ground. And this bee is really interested in what I'm doing. So that made me think, okay, this tree gotta have about 400 doggone pears on it, right? One tree is what kept getting me. It's only one tree. Where's the other tree? So it was probably being pollinated by all around here. We got a lot of native pear trees, the flowering pear. I always forget the name of them. I got them everywhere around my yard and I always forget the name of them. But they were probably pollinated by one of those pear trees, or it was a self-pollinating pear, probably like a kefir or a hood pear, something like that that can handle this heat. Anyway, it made me think, how many apple trees do I got? How many pear trees do I got? You won't need all of those fruit trees. You won't know what to do with them once they get mature enough like that tree. That tree looked like it was about 10 years old, maybe a little bit older. It wasn't a big tree. But what the hell would I do with about 4,000 pears? The cleanup alone would be impossible. The cleanup from just getting all the pears off the ground, because you just can't run those over with your lawnmower. You're gonna have a slushy, slick mess in your grass. So I was like, God, that made me just go to thinking. What's your expectations for your tree before you start buying a whole bunch of different kinds of trees? Figure out what you want them for. Do you make wine? Do you sell fruit or thinking about selling fruit? Gift baskets. Are you into that? You better think about this stuff before you buy all of these different trees, because these trees that we buying produce a lot of fruit. And I pulled a lot of peaches off of my tree this year. They were small, but I pulled a lot of peaches off of there. And it made me think, God, once this tree is still a baby, it's still a teenager. Only had that one for 5 years too. Once it gets big, it has a lot of fruit. Y'all see, so much fruit is breaking limbs. So we really need to think about, before you buy all these trees, you know how to handle them when they kids, when they babies. Are you gonna know how to handle them when they're adults? Just like people. This is why I like gardening, y'all, because it teaches us so much about ourselves. If you spoil and mess up a kid, he gonna be a piece of shit adult, usually. Same thing with a tree. Heck, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep so many apple trees. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep my grafting sessions on, because I got a couple of trees over there. Y'all seen my grafting videos where I grafted several different apples onto one tree. And I think I'm just going to keep doing that, because I don't think I'm going to need 7 or 8 apple trees. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it. And I'm being honest. Y'all know I'm a gardener, but I'm being honest with you. I don't know if I will be able to handle that. Now, these persimmons, at the price that they sell for, I would make a fortune by selling them. Eating them, I would probably eat them until I kill myself. That's how delicious they are. Son of a bitch, did y'all see that big fucking hawk? What, you fucking bitch? Did y'all see that shit? This is why I keep this motherfucker right here. I have never seen nothing like that in my life. I see you. It's looking right at me too. Let me get the fuck out of here. That's why all the birds in the background. That's why all the birds in the background was making all those noises. There's so many different kinds of birds around here. It was warning calls. I live here long enough to know. Listen to the warning calls from the rest of the birds. Listen to the warning calls from the animals around here, because they will tell you something is coming to get us. Alright, that's the end of that video. Son of a bitch. Yeah, Farmer 73, I'm scared shitless. And wait, before I do that, why don't I show you what just swooped in between me and this camera? That big hawk that was trying to get those doggone squirrels that day. Let me scoot up. Let me zoom out. The sun is getting me. She want my chickens. That big monster. She gonna need a name. You hear my chickens freaking out? I'm telling you right now, y'all, if it was illegal, she would have to go for what she just did. Live Farmer 73, and I'm out.